Welcome back to Eliances Heroes, where heroes in business align. To be part of our super community and find out more about Eliances, visit www.Eliances.com. Now, back to our super host, David Kogan, founder of Eliances.
That's right. We just had Beju Kalatako. He is the co-founder of the company that became Redbox, who is now doing Halo Investing. Later on in the show, we're going to have Kara Golden, the founder and CEO of Direct Source Wealth. So make sure you go to directsourcewealth.com/hero. And by the way, thank you for the feedback we continue to get from when I had the interview with the head of the President of the United Nations General Assembly. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com. Now, Arizona history has some very recognizable names, but few are more recognizable than the name Goldwater. Our next hero is Barry Goldwater Jr. You could reach him at BarryMGoldwaterJR.com. Barry, what was it like, though, growing up with such a famous father?
Well, that was an adventure. Every day was a different kind of day. My father, Senator Goldwater, was very active in the community. He was active in commerce with the Goldwater department stores. He was a pilot, a photographer. He served in the military. He served in the city council. So every day was a lot of fun.
Now, you've done a lot of work in the financial sector. Barry, please share with us what you're working on now.
Well, I do consulting work now, and it's not all financial. I do a lot of work in renewable energy. I just happen to be doing spirits, alcohol, representing a company out of California that is one of the largest distributors of private label spirits. And I have a company in insurance that does insurance regulatory work. We are headquartered in West Palm Beach with about 40 associates, and we work in all 50 states representing insurance companies in their regulatory area.
So what type of person or company would contact you for your services that you offer? How would they know that they need to utilize your services?
Well, my background is a member of Congress for 14 years and a life involved in politics because of the family. So I have a lot of contacts at the local level in all 50 states. I know most of the governors, most of the attorney generals. I have a direct pipeline into the United States Congress and understand what goes on in and around Washington. So I do a lot of government public affairs work. And it doesn't matter what the industry is, the work is basically the same, and that is introductions and intervening with political leaders, government agencies that the individual might have a problem with or want to contact with.
And yeah, in fact, you were congressman for 14 years in the U.S. House of Representatives. You served on the Space and Aviation Committee that authorized and oversaw Apollo 11, the first manned landing on the moon. Can you share with us what that type of energy of what was going on regarding being part of that and the mission?
That was an exciting committee that I was able to serve on, the Science and Technology Committee. We had an authorization and authority over all transportation, research, development, and safety. We oversaw the space program and energy. It was a terrific committee to serve on, and it was exciting because every time the astronauts returned from their space flights, they would appear before our committee to get interviewed and to learn from what they've learned. In the area of energy, I was there in 1974 when the embargo occurred from Saudi Arabia that found Americans standing in lines to get gasoline, and it was rationing. And we jump-started renewable energy by pouring money as well as programs into wind, solar photovoltaic, geothermal, OTEC. I mean, you name it. If it smelled or sounded like energy, we put programs around it. And today we're starting to reap the benefit where renewable energy is price competitive as fossil fuel.
Absolutely. I love it. Now, you're listening to me, David Kogan, host of the Eliances Hero Show. Make sure you go to Eliances.com, Eliances.com, the only place where entrepreneurs align, where we have many experiences, roundtables, grand tables, secret sessions, and so much more. And we're talking with the famous Barry Goldwater Jr., former U.S. House of Representatives of Arizona. Make sure you go to BarryMGoldwaterJR.com. And again, we'll have the link on our website at Eliances.com. Now, you're also an author, and you co-wrote the book, Pure Goldwater, with former advisor to President Nixon, John Dean. The book was a New York Times bestseller. Now, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, David, I served in Congress with my father. My father served in the United States Senate representing Arizona, and at the same time, I served in the House of Representatives representing California. It is one of the few times where a father and son served at the same time. When my father passed away, looking through all of his papers, I found his diaries, his memoirs. And John Dean, who was a lifelong friend of mine, and I took all these diaries and put them into a book called Pure Goldwater. And it's an interesting reading about the mind and thinking of Senator Barry Goldwater.
Wow, that is. I mean, I can't. You could get it now. You can get it on Amazon probably. Pure Goldwater. I would imagine you can get that on Amazon. So make sure you check it out. Pure Goldwater. Can you share with us a couple of the secrets that your father shared with you on how to be successful and really lead such a successful life?
Well, he admonished me early in my life that as you go through life, the dust that you stir up will fall on others, meaning that what you do with others that will leave a lasting impression. And he admonished me always to be kind, considerate, and generous to other people. He's often told me that if you walk through the forests and the deserts, you're walking with God. Don't forget that He is always with you and looking over after you. He admonished me that if I was to be successful, I had to work hard and take care of myself physically and mentally. What else did he tell me? I know he told me one time that in regards to my dating, to keep it out of town, but I'm not sure that had anything to do. I'm not sure that had anything to do with my business. But he really led by example. He worked hard all his life. He was kind to other people. He was generous, and I learned a lot just by watching him. And the thing that how I got started in the financial field as a stockbroker in California is my last year of college. I was planning to go into the Goldwater store business, the clothing business, and they sold it right out from underneath me. And I went to my father and I said, "What'd you do that for? You knew what my passion and what my goals were to work in the family business." And he turned to me and looked me straight in the eye and he said, "Son, I gave you an education. Now go use it." And that was the end of the discussion. I got in my car. I drove to California. I got a job as a stockbroker on the Pacific Coast Stock Exchange. And within 10 years, I was making $250,000, much more than I would have made as a stockbroker, as a member, in the clothing business.
Wow. Now, worthy advice for sure. We've got a little less than a minute left, Barry, and everyone talks about what's wrong with our government. What do you feel is right with our government?
Well, I think our government is fine. I think our government's operating as it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be always smooth and everybody is hugging and everything's nice and warm and fuzzy. Our government works. It's a representative government. We basically have two philosophies at work here. And it all started back with Hamilton and Jefferson. Hamilton wanted a centralized government. Jefferson wanted dispersed government. We have that same argument today going on. We have the New York Times versus the Wall Street Journal. You have Fox versus MSNBC. You got liberal versus conservative, Republican versus Democrat. This is two philosophies that are clashing. And they're clashing today in a big way. But you know something? We're still walking around. We're still, business is good. Economy is good. There are jobs for people. So there's nothing wrong with our government or even our times. So I think people ought to quit beating everybody up and start loving each other and trying to be nice to one another and understand each other's positions and each other's attitudes and feelings. There's too much anger going on, but you know something? That's part of the process.
That's right, and the sun shines every day. So, Barry, you've lived your life in the spotlight, and you've worked for betterment of our great state of Arizona and our country. Barry Goldwater Jr., you can reach him at barrymgoldwaterjr.com. Thank you, too, to Direct Source Wealth, your partner in building wealth and time freedom. Learn more at directsourcewealth.com/hero. Stay tuned, because we're going to have Kara Golden on, the founder and CEO from directsourcewealth.com. Thank you very much. David Kogan from Eliances.